Currently it's Samuel Hawthorne who is on pole position. Alongside him it's going to be Harry Gibson, and behind them it's Jamie Perrelli and Lorenzo Cordal, and following them it's Lewis Wild and Scott Smith. Then from 7th position it's James Jackson, alongside it's Archie Walker, and behind them Alex Eads and William Ellswood. He finalises the top 10. Then behind them it's Brandon Klein-Nagelvort and Ryan Willis. Then it's Jude Fernahoe and Ronnie Smith. Then David, last name I cannot pronounce,
Outleichner.
Thank you very much. Then it's Jack Steadman and Samuel Cook, followed by Tommy Edmonds, Scott Lapsley and William Young round out the top 20. Then it's Sam Light and Joshua Burton. They're followed by Joshua Valance, Charlie Ellis, Luke Collins and Lucas, last name I can't pronounce,
Ivaskevicius.
Thank you very much. Well, there we go. That's your 26 kart grid for the Senior Max Final, race number 30 of the weekend. And it's definitely looking a bit darker, a bit more grey out there, isn't it?
It is indeed. The 3 heat winners. Sam Hawthorne picked up Heat 1 yesterday afternoon. Heat 2 earlier on today. Ryan Willis was the victor of that, and David Outleichner with the Welsh Dragon, bathed in the colours of the Polish flag, won heat number 3.
So he's got a win, but he's starting down in 15th in this one, so clearly not going his way in some of the other finals, but one to watch there from sort of the mid-pack.
Yeah, quite a few others to watch out for. The 2 from KR Sport, Archie Walker and William Ellswood, in 8th and 10th, so they'll be on the inside of rows 4 and 5 respectively. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting run to the start, as everyone is at a slow crawl as they head down into Pit Bend.
Indeed. Here we go. Let's see if they can get it started for the first time of asking. And it looks like they do. I didn't see the timer start though, so let's wait as they go through the first corner. Leader has pulled a massive gap through that opening first section. And yeah, we have indeed got this one underway. Look at this battle for second continuing. It looks like our leader has really pulled a massive gap. Was that Samuel Hawthorne from pole? I think it was. He's just fully got ahead through this first lap.
Yeah, a few drivers trying to make some positions up the order. Archie Walker keeping out of the way. Someone's gone off, and that's Alex Eads in the 61 going. That's on the outside of Ashby's as they filter their way through Osiers and, Wilkins and Osiers. So Alex Eads already compromised, and he drops down the order out of the top 10, maybe even out of the top 15 with the amount of grass he was mowing just then.
He was doing a bit of grass mowing, not the fastest way through, as someone comes into the pit lane after lap number 1, and their race is already over. We've now finished lap number 1, and we continue round the circuit once again. No live timing at the moment, so just need to watch out on our screens as to what is going on. A bit of pushing down into Christmas Corner there from a couple of karts. That's the 38 getting pushed through.
99 of Harry Gibson rounds out the top 3.
Yeah, it was Scott Smith there getting pushed through Christmas Corner. Well, I think it was James Jackson behind, but I will confirm that once they've gone through once again. There's still lots of packs forming in the Senior Max Final.
Always the case with Senior Rotax, but then, like with any other karting class, over the course of the race, you know, some drivers will be conserving the tyres, and then when they see those gaps are starting to close a little bit, they will start to push and move forward. But there's the number 20 of Lorenzo Cordal leading a 4-kart train.
Yeah, currently in 3rd places, and you've got Harry Gibson for company right behind. Harry Gibson started in P2, has dropped down to P4 at the moment, and another gap now breaking away to our 2nd place running kart as well. So our top 2 drivers getting away, and especially if these 4 begin to fight, then that gap will only extend further.
I did see initially Archie Walker was starting on the outside of row number 4. He might have dropped behind teammate Will Ellswood in the number 6 kart, but a good move there. That is from Harry Gibson. Now past Lorenzo Cordal for what is P2.
And immediately points to the head. Think about it.
Yep, exactly. Scott Smith is just behind, and then there's the number 89 of Lewis Wild, who is in the mix for one of the heat victories. Then you've got the number 39 of Brandon Klein-Nagelvort. I'm used to seeing him in different livery. He's rocking the old LN kart race suit and also the race kart itself.
Indeed, being powered by Lando Norris at the moment. Will that power him towards victory, though?
Probably with a bit of waft from Time Racing engines, no doubt, because that is the kart that's currently used by Dan Holland Racing, not just here domestically, but also on X30 and also across Europe.
Indeed. He's pushing him forward nicely now. He's catching right back up to the rear of this train of karts. So let's see if he can do anything about it here. And Harry Gibson, after getting through there, is starting to push forward away from this pack. He's got a couple of kart lengths out ahead of the following driver, the number 20 of Lorenzo Cordal. But still quite the gap up to second place. So he's going to have to do a lot of work if he wants to chase that down. Looks like we have a move into Christmas Corner, though. The 89 goes through. That's Lewis Wild up into 4th place now, past Lorenzo Cordal. And will that momentum shift push him further back? No, he manages to keep it for now. There's another move down into Ashby as well.
That was Will Ellswood. I did see a little bit earlier on that Jude Fernehoe made the move up. So Fernehoe on the move, Ellswood on the move. But this battle here, Brandon Klein-Nagelvoort is keeping in close proximity to the 3 in front as they all concertina, going through the top of the boots and into now Pit Bend, the final corner on the race circuit. And they are starting to catch Harry Gibson.
Indeed they are. Yeah, this, what was a 3-kart train, became 4, became 5, and now is almost becoming 6, with the 53 of Jude Fernehoe now getting involved. Started P13, did Jude, so he's had a good race so far, catching back up to this pack. Let's see if he can move his way through. Harry Gibson has been re-caught by Lewis Wild, to be fair, so thought he could push on towards our second place man, but nope, has been reeled back in to this quite long battle as they go onto the back straight towards the boot. No one close enough to send a move, though, I don't think.
No, they're just keeping it line astern at the moment, so effectively, over the course of the duration of the next couple of moments or so, they have got the number 53, that is Jude Fernehoe, who has been catching at a comfortable rate of knots. Brandon Klein-Nagelvoort in the number 39, who started down in 11th position. Will Ellswood has got some gap between himself and the kart behind. Up the hill through Manuel's Bank and into the right-hander at the top of the crest at Christmas Corner as they make their way through into Ashby's. Now into the next left-hander here at Wilkins before the short shoot down into Osiers and then through the chicane once again. But no one making any moves, any sudden moves so far. But Fernehoe has got past Klein-Nagelvoort for position. So this battle right now, John, is quite heavily escalating. But it's about strategic chess pieces. 6 minutes and 50 still to go, plus an additional lap.
It is indeed. It is all basically chess, isn't it? You really got to plan those moves many corners ahead. And someone does go for a move there. That was the 53 down the inside. That's Jude Fernehoe making up another position. It looked like, it looked like Wild was looking for it there. Down into Ashby. Checks over his shoulder. Because that's, again, you're just planning those moves. You need to see how much space you've got behind you and how much time you can waste going for a move up the inside, where you can send it. He gets a good exit here. He could look for it into the boot, but thinks better of it this time on his teammate.
Jamie Perrelly, in the meantime, is trying to catch Sam Hawthorne, who is away and clear at the front end of the field as the timer continues to tick down. So probably ran about just under 6 minutes to go, plus an additional lap. And the two teammates very, very close indeed. Lewis Wild now looks for the move, gets through on Gibson through Christmas. Nice, neat exchange as Cordell was looking. Well, I don't think Cordell was looking. I think Fernehoe got past.
Indeed, yeah, Fernehoe went through as well. And now it's right on the back of Gibson already. So can he now try and prise the door open on Gibson as well? That momentum working against Gibson at the moment as he just drops a position to Wild at the moment. So Wild up to 3rd, Gibson 4th. Fernehoe now in 5th and right on the rear end of these two as we continue round to start another lap here at Whilton Mill.
So 5 minutes and 20 still to go, plus an additional lap. And this battle is really intensifying. Fernehoe's really got some waft here, and up the inside he goes. And that was through on Harry Gibson. That's now 4th position for the number 53. And Sam Hawthorne still leading ahead of Jamie Perrelly. And that's the first and second place drivers as we speak, as we are under the 5 minute mark to go.
Indeed, yeah, that was a good move from Fernehoe. Just placed the kart really nicely under the brakes and got it done. And Harry Gibson, who he overtook, was smart about it as well. He could have resent it down at Ashby. He had enough waft out of the corner. He got a better exit, but decided not to, as I think that would have just held them up more and just allowed Lewis Wild to fully get away at the front of this train.
Yeah, so the timer fast ticking away as the sunlight is starting to fade a little bit. We're about 50 minutes or so away from sunset here at Whilton Mill. Fernehoe up the inside. This time on the 89 of Lewis Wild. So up to P3 goes the 53. Nice work so far. Now with the pace that he's got, Jude Fernehoe is going to have an opportunity to really close on in at the two in front.
Indeed, yeah, he's moved his way through nicely. He's been calm and collected with those moves, made them stick when he needs to, and he's not gone for any crazy sends. They've been just perfectly balanced, under braking and sent through, and he's up into those podium positions. But this battle behind continuing as well. Harry Gibson only just ahead of it now. With that is the 20 kart just ahead, of course, of Lorenzo Cordal. Sorry, just behind Gibson, I should say. And he's getting lots of pressure from Brandon Klein-Nagelvoort now.
He is indeed. So that battle wages on like a good one, and expect Klein-Nagelvoort, who has also raced in Europe not that long ago. So yeah, it's going to be interesting how it develops over the next just under 3.5 minutes. And yeah, there's been a lot of moves up and down the order, but Sam Hawthorne leading the way and still keeping ahead of the number 40 of Jamie Perrelly. Jude Fernihoe, let's see what the gap is going to be between the 53 and the 40. But he is bringing along Lewis Wild for the journey as well. Lead gap is now 0.75 of a second. We've got 3 minutes on the timer to go.
There you go, no questioning it now. I'm seeing it on the screen. 3 minutes to go, and that battle that was once sort of 3 or 4 karts, now more like 7 or 8 karts. And they are closing in, aren't they, to those leading two?
Well, if they were 2x2 side by side, they'd be going into Noah's Ark round about now. David Outlachner now rounding out what looks to be the top 10 in the number 65 on the Tony Kart chassis. But Brandon Klein-Nagelvoort still keeping ahead of Scott Smith, waiting for an opportunity to get past Lorenzo Cordal, but with just under 2.5 minutes to go, plus an additional lap. That train is being led by Harry Gibson in the number 99. There's once again another lap in the books. Indeed, yeah. Jude Fernhorn still with the fastest lap. As I say that, it's just changed. It's your man David in 10th place. Outlachner.
45.39. I'm just going to butcher it, so I'm not even going to attempt it.
Mate, I've heard so much butchering on other commentary, don't worry. At least the thing is, you're calling him David in the number 65, so I'm sure his dad, Arcadius, will be absolutely fine with that one. He's setting quick laps anyway, 45.39, as I say. Fastest lap now for David, closing in on the back of that pack, but still about a second between himself and William Ellswood in 9th place. But if these guys start battling, 1 second is going to be nothing. And just as I say that, down the inside goes the 39. That's Brandon Klein-Nagelvoort, finally taking away that position from the number 20 of Lorenzo Cordal. So we do have 20 drivers running out of the 26 that we're due to take to the grid. So Archie Walker might have called time on it for today, but his teammates at KR Sport, Will Ellswood, is pushing and is right up the back bumpers of respectively Smith and Cordal, who round out 8th and 7th respectively. 1 minute and 10 on the timer remains, plus an additional lap. But Jamie Perrelly has been closing on Sam Hawthorne. Interesting development in the latter stages. Indeed, yeah. Really closing in, down to half a second now. To be fair to Jude Fernhoe, that's another fastest lap, 45.36, but still 1.3 seconds off of the leader. So I'm not sure he has quite enough time to close that in, but never say never. Let's wait and see what happens. 45 seconds left to go, and they're doing 45-second laps. So I think we're probably just about going to get 3 laps here, I want to say. I think just about. You're spot on with that one. So we'll see what happens. But I'm so glad that live timing is back, because that was very difficult without live timing. Oh, I've had live stream and live timing difficulties previously, and that was a real kettle of fish to work with. Trying to pick out the numbers and then scroll down the entry list to see who it was. It's like you might have to get a pair of binoculars out. Genuinely. Right, here we look back to the front. This is Hawthorne, and look at that gap now back to Perrelly. That's definitely not half a second anymore. It was 3.5 tenths as we started this lap. 10 seconds to go. It is going to be close on the timing here, but I think they should just about get 2 more laps here. As we count down from 5 seconds. No last lap. Oh, it does go last lap on the timing. I didn't see the board though. It does say last lap on the gantry, I should say. So this should be the last lap of Whilton. And look how close Jamie Perrelly is. He's very, very close to Sam Hawthorne as they make their way through Inkermans for the final time. Down the hill into the right-hander here at Ashby's. Jude Fernihoe is there in the background. There he is. There's the number 53. And manages to close on in, and you can really see now the glare. Yeah. The glare is really going to start affecting that peripheral vision. These drivers will be thinking, "Thank my lucky stars, I'm about to finish this race," because now you can see the shadows as Fernihoe look for a move on Perrelly. But out of the final corner, it's Sam Hawthorne from Argenti that takes the victory ahead of Jamie Perrelly and Jude Fernihoe running at the top 3, covered by less than 0.6 of a second.
So I think Jamie Perrelli would have wished that there would have been one more lap there. I think that could have given them the opportunity to take that win, but Hawthorn did just enough and held on to the victory there. So well done to Samuel. So yeah, Samuel Hawthorn taking the win, Jamie Perrelli in second, then Jude Fernahoe rounding out your podium. Then it was Lewis Wild in fourth, Harry Gibson fifth, Brandon Klein-Nagelvort in sixth, then Lorenzo Cordell, William Ellswood, David in the number 65 car in P9, then it was Scott Smith in 10th. And then the rest of your order down to P20 was James Jackson, Tommy Edmonds, Jack Steadman, Ryan Willis, Alex Eade, Samuel Cook, Ronnie Smith, Joshua Valance, William Young and Joshua Burton.
Right, so another race completed. That was race 30. We head to the 31st and penultimate race of the meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Junior Rotax A final.